because Roman Reigns is going to be here, and he's pissed off about enough as it is. And you don't know what happens when the tribal chief. Have you ever heard of his father Sika? Do you know what happens when these Samoans get angry?
Did you say he's not here?
Yet. He's in training camp for WrestleMania, and he...
As he should be. And listen, as much as I think the favor is none of his business, I do think it's going to affect him a little bit. I would like to tell him to his face when I tell you. So why don't you let me and all my friends know when Big Chief decides to show up.
Salute, wrestling friends. Welcome to the Goodbread Wrestling Channel, also known as the Figure 4 TV. Now today, CM Punk finally reveals his favor. And we knew it, guys. We said it. We planned it. We saw the seeds planted back at War Games when he had that cinema conversation, sit down, and he said, I came for Paul. When he said, I came for Paul, he wasn't talking about he was there because of Paul. He mean he was there to take Paul Heyman. You see, guys, you got to pay attention to these clues. So check out the intro. And when we come back, we're going to break this thing down from start to finish, guys.
Don't have a whole lot of time.
A good thing you showed up late.
I didn't show up for you. I showed up for Paul Heyman, your wise man.
That's good. I don't need your help.
Not here for you. I'm here for Paul.
I'm happy for you guys. I really am. But I don't like your tone. I don't like your attitude. I don't like you. And I damn sure don't want to team with you.
Solo has had us in checkmate since the Friday after WrestleMania. If we don't accept his help, it's over. If you don't help tomorrow night and Solo turns back Roman Reigns, you're next. Solo is going to come after you.
I'm not here for you. I'm here for Paul. You want your Ulafala back? I want my scalps. I want my revenge for what Solo and his crew did to my friend. If we survive War Games, you want to revisit this conversation? Just me and you? I'm all ears.
One time.
One time. One favor.
I owe you a favor.
No. No, you won't owe me anything. My friend, our wise man, will owe me a favor.
Wise man.
Yes, my tribal chief.
What's the favor?
My tribal chief. Let's get through War Games tomorrow night. And then we'll have all the time in the world to talk about it.
Excellent storytelling. And yo, salute to Jack Perry. Thank you a lot, Jack Perry. We God bless you, Jack Perry. But getting back to this, man, you seen the seeds planted. The seeds was planted for him to take Paul Heyman right away. right up from underneath Roman Reigns' nose, right there with that favor. And guys, I want you also to check out the conclusion of the War Games. That was very telling, the way Paul Heyman embraced CM Punk, but Roman Reigns did not embrace Paul Heyman, guys. And this is why I tell you, Roman Reigns may play foolish. He may play like he don't know something is in the waters with Paul Heyman. But Roman Reigns is just as strategic, and we're going to get to it. He's just as strategic as Paul Heyman. So let's check out that War Games, the conclusion of that War Games.
And let's not forget, we owe each other all a favor. The wise man did it.
This is going to bring us to the actual reveal of the favor so we could take the guesswork out of it. And we was right. CM Punk, once he came for Paul Heyman. He came for him, and he going to get him.
The favor. What's the favor? This is about friendship. This is about legacy. This is about promises made and promises kept. This is about loyalty. Paul, this goes back to 4400 Shepherdsville Road, Louisville, Kentucky, when on day one I showed up and they told you that I don't belong, and they told you to fire me, and you said no. And hell, your wise man is just that. He's wise beyond his years. Paul, you prophesized this on national television on Monday Night Raw, and if everybody else has forgotten about it, that certainly doesn't mean I have. And hell, even before that, if I could throw it back to the day you left this company on Big Show's bus, me and you and Joe and RVD standing there talking amongst ourselves. And I mistakenly made it about me. I said, Paul, they're gonna fire me. Paul, without you, I'm nothing. Paul, don't leave. And you said, no, you'll be fine. And I said, I'm sorry I made this about me. Do you remember this, Paul? I said, what can I do for you? And in that moment, you looked me in the eye and you said, Punk, when you main event WrestleMania, force them to deal with us.
Okay, guys, now let's take a slight pivot. We're going to get right back to this. But for those of y'all that might not know what CM Punk just was talking about, let's go to this clip. This old clip from an old episode of Monday Night Raw. And this is 10 years in the making. This is storytelling right here, guys.
Inside, I am going to walk down that aisle with you one day. No time soon. I get it. You need your space, and I respect that as your best friend. But I'm going to walk down that aisle with you one day when you're challenging for the WWE Championship. I am going to walk down that aisle with you one day when you, sir, are where you rightfully belong in the main event at WrestleMania. That's my dream. Because as unpopular as it is, as uncomfortable as it is for the whole world to hear, CM Punk, I love you. You're my best friend in the world. And I'm gonna screw up my dreams because I got mad that I can't be ringside during your matches because you need a little space, because you need a little time to yourself. I'm gonna screw all of that up. I will never represent anyone against you.
Well, they aren't here anymore, so I'm gonna force you, my tribal chief. I'm gonna force you out of your comfort zone. I'm gonna force you to deal with us. Because at WrestleMania, in the main event, in my corner, you're a wise man, my best friend, Paul Heyman.
You understand he loves me, right? He needs me. What? I saved him. Even if I let him, he wouldn't. Wise man.
Yes, my tribal chief.
Let this desperate fool down easy, will you? Are you crying? You better wipe him up and tell him no. I took you in. I made you relevant. Tell him no.
All right, guys, so you heard Roman say, I rescued him. So you guys may be wondering, what the hell is Roman talking about? If you new here, for those of you that's not new, y'all know Roman saved Paul Heyman from Brock Lesnar. Well, actually, he didn't save him from Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar's ship was sinking, and Paul Heyman jumped from Brock Lesnar's ship right on to Roman. And Drew McIntyre mentioned that. We also broke that down in the video. So let's play that right quick, guys, to bring y'all up to date on the relationship between Roman and Paul Heyman. In my opinion, when Roman Reigns shredded that the rest of that Shield character of his, when he got rid of the entrance music and when he got rid of the attire, that's when he took off. Then when he added Paul Heyman, it was up from there. Paul Heyman was the last piece of the puzzle, but he had to do a few things before he could add Paul Heyman to the puzzle. And Drew Mack was spot on when he was talking to Paul Heyman at the Go Home show, the Royal Rumble on SmackDown, when he told Paul Heyman that he is the daddy of the bloodline.
You should love me because I am responsible for all of this success you're having right now. Confused? You might care about this because I have something I've got to admit right now. It pains me and it wasn't intentional, but I am the daddy of the bloodline. I went to the main event of WrestleMania where I slayed the beast and won the world title. Your client, he sent you out to sea.
McIntyre eliminates Lesnar.
You like to tell everybody that Roman rescued you from obscurity, but no, you're a smart man. You're the smartest man in this industry. You swam back to shore, metaphorically, of course, found Roman at a low time, got in his ear, harnessed all of his talent for evil, and you went on this run, the greatest run of your life. The bloodline took over, more moments than you've ever had, more money than you've ever made. Look, Paul, you're on the damn video game now.
You know, we talk about the bloodline story, and Paul, you've talked about stories and starting at the end and then working your way backwards over the course of years. I heard you talking about it on Logan Paul's podcast. But the thing that, to me, is the most unique about the bloodline story is it's not just about your bloodline. If you look over the course of everything going on in WWE right now, whether it's Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, whether it's Drew McIntyre, whether it's Sami Zayn, whether it's all these stars, everything traces back to the bloodline.
It's true.
Is there an end to this story, or is the bloodline ultimately the story of modern day WWE?
Now, in my opinion, Paul Heyman is key to the bloodline storyline, and he key to the whole thing, bro, because when CM Punk cash in his favor, that is when the bloodline storyline is going to be totally total. That's when it's over. Paul Heyman from the jump been the key piece to this whole storyline. Remember, Paul Heyman was Brock Lesnar's advocate, and Roman Reigns took him from Brock Lesnar. And if you know anything about karma, how you get him is how you lose him. So the fact that Roman stole Paul Heyman will be the same reason why CM Punk ended up stealing Paul Heyman from Roman. And that will be the end of the bloodline storyline. So let's take a look at how Paul Heyman was won over by Roman Reigns.
Of all the championships that we can go after together, why the Universal title? I know.
Brock's having the time of his life right now.
Now, guys, let's stop it right here. And I want you to see how history normally repeats itself. Now, remember, it was just Brock Lesnar that used the why you didn't tell Roman. Now, in this feud with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, we got CM Punk using a thank you for bringing him here. Do you guys remember that line? Let's check that out.
Circus kicks off. Let's talk about some facts. Neither of you have ever beaten me without the other one's help. Because you can't. Your wise man should have clued you into that. And you wouldn't even have made it to the Royal Rumble if I didn't save your family's ass in War Games. Of which, by the way, I am owed a favor, Paul. No, you know what? Not now. Before we get to the favor, I just want to say thank you for delivering your tribal chief on a silver platter for me here tonight. I appreciate it.
All right, to it. Only. What the? You know what to do with it.
Reigns has the title, and Reigns using the championship. Reigns retains.
I want you to acknowledge me with the truth. Why are you protecting Brock Lesnar from me?
I'm not protecting Brock Lesnar from you. I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar.
I love you, wise man.
I love you too, my Tribal Chief.
And I thank you for your honesty. And I thank you for 40 years of service to my family. And you're fired.
Oh my God! What the hell? Roman Reigns! If looks could kill, Paul Heyman would be a dead man. What in the hell? Lesnar is down. And Reigns with another spear in survival mode. Cover for the win. He got him. WWE Universal Champion.
I think there's so much meat left on the bone. And there's just so many different ways to go. And I've only given X amount. There's so many more layers for me to be able to showcase. There's so many layers for someone, like Jay or Jimmy or Solo or Jacob or Tama. We have so many great characters for the Wise Man. There's so many more layers to be able to showcase. And we're all in our prime. I'm in the best shape of my life. Wise Man is getting into the best shape of. We're living forever.
Slowly.
We don't,
but surely.
That's right.
That's how you do it.
Turtle race. That's right.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think we can do this forever. I really do. A lot of people were like, third inning. That was a game one. It's a 7-game series, baby. And I'm not trying to bring up these analogies to, like pinpoint timelines and stuff, but that's me saying confidently, I can run this thing for 2 more years, no problem.
Wow. Mr. Heyman, I have to take this opportunity to thank you because hosting Busted Open every day, and we're live 7 days a week now, with the people that we have on this show, I hear your words repeated through the hosts that I work with and what you have taught the people that I work with. What you're doing right now currently in the WWE, this company, because of Roman, because of you, the biggest business this company has ever done. Do you take the time to realize the fact of, there you were standing next to Bill Apter taking photographs at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, and here you are probably being the smartest man alive when it comes to professional wrestling.
One of the smartest men alive because I got next to Roman Reigns. Now, whether that situation was manipulated or whether just all the stars aligned, I hitched my wagon to the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
And Uncle Paul is always going to keep it real. That's what Drew McIntyre was alluding to when he said that he ran and he, after he beat Brock Lesnar to become the WWE champion, Paul Heyman tucked his tail and ran over there to Roman Reigns and manipulated Roman Reigns. That's exactly what Drew Mac was talking about.
What makes me the smartest man alive. If there's any credit to take, the credit to take is that I saw this coming, and my God, I jumped on it with both hands and have been holding on till my fingers are numb. The gravy train for the entire industry is sitting to my left. There has not been a star of this capability. There's not been a disruption of this magnitude in the history of the industry. Even how ECW shaped the 90s in some ways pales in comparison to what Roman Reigns brought to the table in August 2020, when the entire industry was in the doldrums of COVID, and the pandemic had a grip on all of television, and the programming that we were producing was still back in the days of, I'm going to rip off your head and piss down your neck.
Oh my God, what the hell? Roman Reigns is back! Reigns just speared the Fiend!
Believe that. And then Roman Reigns saw not limitations, but opportunity to create an entire new genre. I can't tell you that the industry pre-August 2020 is the same industry as it is today. And I doubt that Netflix would have given us $5 billion for our programming for the way that it was in August 2020. No knock on how it was, but it plateaued. And then came a different vision. And that vision came from this man, not from me. I just assisted him in implementing it. But the credit goes to Roman Reigns.
There's an amazing degree of patience and confidence put into the way you guys tell stories together. And it's pretty remarkable because it adds a level of depth that pro wrestling hasn't had on a regular basis and maybe ever. Is there any part of you, Roman, as a human being, that when you're at home for a month, 2 months, whatever, and you see somebody else is getting hot, you see somebody else is starting to be, is there any part of you that goes, man, I got to get back in there?
No.
There isn't.
No. Too good. I set it up too good.
Yeah.
Too smart.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if you build your systems properly, this is no different than big business. We can go and I can sit there and mentor billionaires on building systems to where you don't have to use your brain no more. Building systems where they become instincts. That's all I've done. I've just created systems within the pro wrestling sports entertainment world. I treat it no differently than any CEO that's running any, major company. There's all these little things that have to happen. There's so many boxes to check constantly in this role. And thank God for the wise man. He does organize it and make it so much easier to handle. But it's just one of those things. You have to know what you're doing. And I put my time in all the way back to Colony Pizza, and we took our notes, we did our studies, we did our lab work, we made our little adjustments here and there. And when the time was right, gone. But no, I don't compete with anybody else. I'm just competing against myself. It's no different than Michael or Kobe or all the great. We're just going against ourselves. We're just trying to create a better version of myself. And if I can make a better version of myself, he has no choice but to get better. Big Jim's got to get better. Jay's, everybody, cream rises to the top. And I believe in that. It's survival of the fittest. I'm not truly manipulating, like we do on camera. I'm just better than everybody. And I believe it. And I walk every step with that type of conviction.
You guys can see the writing is on the walls. And if you didn't know, guys, they're going to soon part ways. I know it's been fun and we love the wise man and the tribal chief. But Roman Reigns is going to be our white meat baby face, guys. And when you have a white meat baby face, they don't have no manager, guys. They by themselves in the wall. They don't have a wise man. They don't have an advocate. They by themselves. The advocates and the wise mans are for the heels. Those are for the biggest heels in the company. So now we getting ready to part ways. We getting ready to shed layers with the tribal chief character because he's over. And this is how they always wanted Roman. They always wanted us cheering for Roman. So now they're going to run with the fact that he's over. They're going to test run him without Paul Heyman, see if he can stay over. And that's what it's going to be. Paul Heyman eventually, guys, will be going with the newest heel. The up-and-coming newest heel is going to need Paul Heyman's assistant to get them over, guys.
No, my tribal chief, I can't do that.